Welcome. Woo, this has been a long time coming.
A very long time coming.
I have no clue when the last time I did a Smackdown review. I think possibly 2017 or 2018. I don't remember the last time I did one. I know the last time I did one, I was fed up. I couldn't do it anymore. I was sick of it. So that was maybe 2018 or 2017. So it's been nearly, oof. Man, I will tell you this. Was this show good compared to what I saw in 2018 or 17? Yes, let's be clear. Back then, it was bad. It pissed everybody off. I was included. So seeing the show now is a bit different. Like I saw on Raw, the show was different. It still had most of the similar booking, at least a bit, but it was a bit different. Now, our people were in Montreal. I always wonder what Montreal, Canada looks like. If anybody is from Montreal, how you doing? You got any single women over there? I'm just joking. Who would want a 51-year-old old man who can't walk very well? Unless it's a very young woman who doesn't mind a 51-year-old man who walks with a cane. Anyway, they were in Montreal. I think at the Pop Center, I believe. That's what it was called. I could be wrong. But it was interesting to see how they structured the show. Now, when it comes to the women's tag tournament, I'm not interested. Now, the way they're structuring it so far, I'm not interested. But the outcome, I am interested because if they're structuring it like it should be, if, and it looks like they are, Papa H looks like he's doing it. When that final team wins, they will go across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Now, how do I know this? Because we had, surprisingly, Sonya Deville teamed up with Natalya. I don't know why they stuck them together like that. They are not a team. It would have been better to put Sonya Deville with Shayna Baszler because they were both basically MMA fighters. Or better, Shayna Baszler, if she wasn't in a program already, with a Ronda Rousey. Wouldn't it be interesting to have two former, mixed martial artists trying to become tag team champions? I'm not saying it'd be great, but it would be something interesting. But we have Sonya and Natalya, who I don't know if I got any pictures of those big boobs. Look, I'm not a guy who cares about incredibly great curves. But since they've now changed the criteria of how the show's supposed to be to a certain extent, you would expect, where most of the women have not been happy, having to show a lot more than a little bit of titty and a little bit of ass. They have not been happy about it. So now that things have changed a little bit, you would think maybe Natalya would decide not to wear something so revealing. Now, I'm not against Natalya showing her tits. I'm not. But you would think at this point that things are a little bit different. She doesn't have to focus on her attire so much, showing as much body mass, skin as you will, to the way it is. But she did. Don't get me wrong.
Damn, those tits look good, no matter if they're fake or not. And I think they're real.
I would have been happy to see her cover up a bit. She didn't need to show so much boob. I don't think she needed to. Now, was the Montreal crowd hot for her? Yes. Particularly with Toxic Attraction showing up. Of course, Mandy Rose was not there. She already had her match on Tuesday. So the rest of Toxic Attraction has shown up and they had the match. It wasn't bad, but I gotta say this. If you didn't notice during the show a couple of times, you saw Michael Cole botching a bit. He wasn't just botching a little bit, maybe once in a match he would botch. He botched like 3 or 4 times in their match. A couple of times during the Fatal 5-Way, he botched a couple of times. I think he was distracted by something. I don't know what it was, but he was. In the end, Toxic Attraction won. I was not totally surprised. This is Papa H we're talking about here. He wants to make a statement. He is now the head of talent relations and creative. He wants people to understand that what NXT once was, black and gold, is now going to filter onto the main roster and all the people that are there. Now the question is going to be, and this is a big question that a lot of people are not going to talk about, because JD is not going to talk that much about it. And Just Alex is not going to talk about it. How are the older roster wrestlers going to be treated? This is a big question, because all the NXT wrestlers that were either kicked out or basically buried, he's shining them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But how is he going to book the older wrestlers? Now, I'm not saying he's going to ignore them, but how are they going to be booked? And better yet, how are they going to respond to that booking? Hearing that they're positive does not mean they're going to be booked the way they think they're going to be. And as I said before, we don't know what's going to happen in the next 12 months. I'm hoping it all works, but it is a big question, particularly that Natalya and Sonya Deville just jobbed. It was a good match, but jobbed the way they did. It was Natalya who jobbed, not Sonya Deville. It was Natalya who takes things personally. It would have been better if Sonya had jobbed, not Natalya in her hometown. They were not happy, which was good. But I'm sure Natalya wasn't too happy about that. Now the question is going to be, how is she going to respond to that going forward? Next, the Fatal 5-Way. We had, well, let's crank back a little bit. When it came to Sami, he was a rock star there. They were acting out like crazy for Sami and Natalya and anyone else who was pretty much a Canadian. That's nothing wrong with that. But Sami got the biggest pop as El Generico. Of course, he wasn't dressed as him, but everyone knows him. He went and saw Roman Reigns. And the Usos were not allowed to cross the border, probably due to the fact that Jimmy, with his DWI before, he probably can't leave and go to Canada. I think he's still stuck in the country because he got himself in trouble again. And I think he's banned from leaving the country. I could be wrong. You guys could tell me below. But it's a possibility that Jimmy could not travel. So if he can't travel, Jay's not going to go because it won't make any sense if Jimmy stays behind. The bloodline has to be complete. And if he cannot travel out of the country because of his previous breaking of the law, I could be wrong, but you never know. Pretty much Sami says this: I've been trying to get you, but Jay has been jumping on my neck. And Roman says, you know, you're right. You're right. He has been jumping down your neck, and I don't know why he's been acting the way he is. And then he made a call, that's Jay, on Roman's phone, and he asked Sami to answer it, which he did. And Sami tells him they can't cross the border. There's some type of problem. He says, all right. But he knew that Sami was going to be in the Fatal 5-Way. He said, you better have good luck. Go for it. But he wanted him to make it very clear to his friend, and that's Kevin, hey, I don't owe nobody anything. And he makes it very clear in a heelish kind of way, scared heel. Hey, me and him don't talk much. He just isn't there. I'll let him know though. So we have the match next. El Generico was in full force. Let's make this clear. This wasn't more about Sami Zayn. This is about him being El Generico. Even though he wasn't wearing the mask, he wasn't wearing the garb. It was him being who he was, and everyone loved him for it. Now, at one point, because we had Sheamus, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Ricochet, and Sami, you basically had one move. And we did get 10 you got 3 out of the 4 getting hammered to the chest, getting the 10 bells of the Bowery. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen Sheamus do it. But once he finished all that, and Sami was on the top turnbuckle, he decides to do a second turn rope white noise, which supposedly messed up Sami's left. Was it left or right arm? I can't remember. I think it was right arm. And he had to go into the back. Something went wrong. He was done. He could not use his arm. About maybe 8 to 10 minutes later, he tried to come back. But in the end, it was Sheamus who won. And now Sheamus is going after Gunther as the current IC champion. So the question is going to be, will an Austrian be able to beat an Irishman going for the Intercontinental Championship at the, Attack at the Castle? I can't remember the pay-per-view. I can't remember. Clash of the Castle? I think that's what it's called. I'm just saying. Now, here's where it gets interesting, and I don't know if this worked. I'm hoping it worked, but I don't know it worked. We had the maximum, that's the name, the maximum male models out in full force. I am glad to see they're doing something with Eli Drake, but I'm not happy to see him as a manager. He's a better heel wrestler than he is a manager. If you like him as a manager, more power to you. And I do like him as a manager. I know he can manage. But he's an incredible heel when he's allowed to be a heel. But in the end, this was not about him. This wasn't about the other two that was with him. This was about the Hit Row. And basically nailing them, kicking them out of the ring, and doing a basically a little bit of a concert. Wasn't bad. But I don't know if it went over very well with the Montreal fans. Not that they don't like rap there. I'm sure there's many people like rap. But I don't know if it went over. I don't. If this was done in America, trust, it would have done. It would have do real good. Because Hit Row understands what's current right now. But the point is, it may be current in America. Does not mean it translates to Montreal. Now, it's a big question, did it? I don't know. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but we'll find out eventually from the other reviewers who watched it. My guess is it might have been somewhere where it was good, but not great. I'm just saying. Now, also, we had a good vid pack, and I'm not forgetting about Ronda Rousey, I'll talk about it in a minute. We had a good vid pack when it came to the Viking Raiders trying to deal with New Day, because they're making it very clear. New Day is done. They're going to destroy him. It's a Viking Raider day. Am I going for that? No. Why are they going there? I'd rather not see them deal with New Day. This looks like it's a carryover from the former regime, and Papa H is trying to deal with it. I'm not interested in it. I'm sorry, I'm not. When it comes to New Day, I still care about Xavier, Kofi, and Biggie when he finally is cleared. Because if you've seen Up, Up, Down, Down and Battle of the Brands,
I would suggest you watch Battle of the Brands.
When it comes to Xavier Woods and Prince Pretty and Tyler Breeze, he's not working for WWE Tyler Breeze. They're calling him Tyler, or they call him Prince Pretty. But he is making videos again with Xavier Woods. It's been going on for a little while now, since the beginning of the year. But we saw a Big E there. So he is hanging around with them, but it doesn't mean he's cleared yet to wrestle. I don't think he's cleared yet. Probably sooner or later he will be. But I don't want to see this. Honestly, the segment, the vid pack was beautiful. It really did feel like it was two Vikings in front of me. But do I care about two Vikings going up against guys who acting like they're gospel singers and dancing around like they New Day? No. That's a carryover from last time. And I'm not into it. That's just me. Everybody else will probably love it, not me. Let's move on. Now, Ronda Rousey pretty much opens the show. She makes it very clear. Look, I paid the debt. Fine. I apologize. Clear me. I want to come back to work. You better clear me. And Adam Pearce comes out with security and says, Ronda, listen to me. What you did, I can't fix. You're suspended for what you did. You attacked a referee and anybody else that is working on the roster that is not a wrestler. You are basically suspended until further notice. It's beyond my pay grade. I cannot do anything. And they asked him, he asked her, please, you need to go. You need to go. And we got security in there getting ass whooped. And pretty much an armbar on a skinny ass man. Probably skinnier than me. In the end, he had to call the Montreal police, which took her away. I wouldn't say them. Took her away. You know what's irking me about this? The reason that it's irking me is that this has been done so many times before. I don't want to see it. Look, I understand. They had to do it because they're trying to make Ronda seem like the toughest bitch on the planet. But as it stands, this feels like something Vince would have booked. Honestly, this would have been something Vince would have booked. and Papa H is using it, and it's not something I'm interested in. I just don't feel it due to the fact that it's been done so many times before ad nauseum, and it didn't work then. Now, mind you, here, it is kind of working. But for me personally, I don't want to see it, even if it makes sense and it needs to work that way, and it does work. The crowd were into it, they understood what was going on, and it was done. I just didn't care about it because it's been done so many times. And yes, it is a Triple H thing now, but it does not mean I'm into it. Let's move on. Now, we got the Liv Morgan and Chelsea Blackheart match, and it's trying to make Liv look tough while she's still hurt. Now, this is the thing. I would have liked not to see Chelsea Blackheart, or Chelsea, I don't know why they're going there, Chelsea, to actually have the job like that. It was non-title. It was just her having a match. And it's good that it was a non-title match, and it wasn't even talking about her, if she won, that she would get a title shot. No, the pay-per-view is still going on, and they didn't mention it. I'm glad. That's the wisest thing they could have done. But I didn't want to see the match. It didn't need to happen. I would have liked her to do something in the back. I would have liked her to be more examined by the doctors. And if you had to bring in a Shayna Baszler to attack her while she's in there, or to talk to her for that matter, I would have liked that. Not a match that is done by nauseum over and over again. Like, that's still formulaic, so it might still be a holdover, or Papa H is doing it himself. And then you had the attack afterward with Shayna. Now, admittedly, I did like how Shayna acted after she did attack Liv Morgan. She made it very clear. I can take you out right now, bitch. She doesn't say it, but I can take you right now, and I can break your damn arm, but I'm going to do it at the pay-per-view. I'm taking that damn title, and I'm breaking your arm, and she's acting like she's about to, and she doesn't. She kick her in the face, and everyone goes, oh, good. I really like the participation from the Montreal fans. I'm still asking.
Are there any single women there? Not too old.
They sound nice. Anyway, that's what we got. Now, when it comes down to it, the last segment of the show. The face-to-face. We get the talk between both the chosen ones, of Roman and Drew. Was it good? It was fine. Did it make sense? Yes, it did. Was there a fight needed? Yes, there has to be a fight. Because no matter if you like it or not, they needed to have a fight. Now, we did see Sami save Roman in the first point, but then as the Superman punch was about to be delivered, he got a claymore to the face. And possibly to the nose, because he was holding his nose like this more than once. And right now, my allergies are killing me. Oh, August trees suck. I feel tired. I feel like I got a headache. My throat is always itching, and I want to drink water. It sucks. So I'm kind of like Roman. He's going like this, and I'm going the same way. Was it formulaic? Yes. But was it a bad formulaic? No. But I will say this, when I look over the entire show. Was this a good show? It was okay. It seemed to be solid enough that you can say that the majority of it wasn't crap. The fans really helped a lot of the show, but certain things I don't agree with because I don't really care. As it stands, when it comes to women's tag team title tournament, I don't really care about it. What I care about is seeing when it's over and seeing if are they going to have the champions go across Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. If they're not, what is the point? Now, they'll say yes, it's going to happen, but until I see it, I don't believe it. That's the way I'm going by. I want to see it. I don't care what people say. Papa H is there, and he's getting it done. Look, there are aspects of the show that still look like Vince is doing it. Ergo, Liv Morgan and Chelsea Blackheart. That match didn't need to be done. The Viking Raiders dealing with New Day. I understand the Vid Pack was great. I liked it. But seeing New Day going against the Viking Raiders, how many times have they gone up against them? More than a few times, and I'm not interested in them. I'm not. Because I've seen them more than a few times whenever I've seen any highlights. They've used the same team so many times. This feels like a holdover. or it seems like they have no choice but to go through it because no one is ready to come to the main roster to make it work yet. Because either they're going to come at the pay-per-view or just after. And some of it seems to be old garbage. Some of it seems to be okay. Some of it seems to be setting up for the future. That's all the best I can say. And I'm sure JD is going to be happy for the majority of it. I'm sure that just Alex is going to enjoy it and say, yeah, there's a little bit there, but don't worry, Papa H is getting it done. Until Papa H gets everything done, I don't trust shit. I will fairly look at it, and if I am reviewing it, I will fairly review it. But until I see full changes and not crap all the time, I don't trust shit. Maybe I'm pretty jaded, but it's better to be jaded and honest than someone who just jumps on a bandwagon thinking everything, even though this thing's bad, don't just take it what it is. No. I'm going to be honest to you. When something sucks, I'm going to tell you. But that's just me. And I hope you enjoyed this. I can't believe I'm saying SmackDown review. Please give me a comment below. I am thinking about doing the Rampage tomorrow. Because right now, I'm going to upload this. I might throw some images on here. I don't know yet. But I am going to upload it. I'd rather do it tomorrow. Maybe I might do a triple threat if I have the time. There's certain things I got to do tomorrow if I don't forget or get frustrated. Peace.